How do you guys combat loneliness? The best advice I was given was, be someone that you would want to hang out with. I realize this is not a direct combat to loneliness, but I feel it's really important. Be kind and considerate by asking people things about them. Be strong by doing hard things simply because they are hard. Be smart by training yourself to learn something or think differently. If you've got so much of your own stuff going on, you'll be so busy that you'll find loneliness is not a worry anymore, and people will want to know more about you. I don't, I embrace it. I have a whole series of stories in my head with characters and stuff I made up. When I feel lonely or bored, I just start or continue a story in my head. I guess it's called daydreaming. Play games, jack off, sit alone in the silence, and just stare into the void until all your past transgressions come flooding in, and the feeling of being trapped consumes you. Then pick up the phone and chat on WhatsApp. Music. I am extremely lonely at the moment, and it's hard. I watch late night talk shows. I don't know what it is about them. Watching Colbert or Conan makes me feel at ease. Hobbies. I grew up relatively isolated, so I've got about 25 years of experience with it. The older I get, and the more successful my life becomes, the more time I can spend doing fun shit to distract me from my feelings that would probably destroy me otherwise, if I didn't have hobbies and stuff to do. Music and having the TV playing makes you seem less alone. Constantly keep myself busy. Okay, let's clean the house. Done. Okay, now organize my online accounts. Done. Okay, it's only noon, let's make food for everyone. Done. Okay, let's write down some thoughts. Done. Loneliness is starting to creep. Fuck. Okay, let's train till happy chemical comes out. Done. Shower and try and meditate. Done. Try and paint some models. Done. Listen to music. Done. Sometimes you can't avoid it, and you simply have to feel it and deal. Start over the next day and try and find new things. I just grew up lonely, so I'm comfortable with just my own company. The Sims. People combat loneliness. When I get lonely, I think of memories I made with ex-friends, and I end up distancing myself from more people. I leave Discord servers, unfriend people, and etc. Reddit. I do Reddit. I've kind of taken to trying to sleep a lot, or at least lie down a lot while listening to podcasts. God, that sounds sad, but I just don't have anything else to do. Do something you enjoy. Constant distractions to keep it at bay. Video games and weed, my friend. Sprinkle a little work in there and glaze the whole thing with denial. Loneliness is easy. I fight it off one-handed most nights. Best combat for loneliness and best medicine for your soul is owning a furry companion. Pets are loyal so long as you are, and will never abandon you. Not to mention, after a certain point you are planning not just your life, but you and your baby's life. Trips to events, special outings, even going to a pet park opens you and your baby up to a potentially enriching social experience. In my opinion, you can't go wrong, and you will find a whole new fulfilling purpose in life. I listen to Comfort for Loneliness audios, and hug my pillow. Get a dog books. As a person who grew up without many social relationships, I can say that there comes a point where you get used to it. I've been alone for a long time of my life, now I find it uncomfortable to be in social situations. But it's nice to meet people on the internet. Latest thing I'm trying is having a funky haircut. As a result, every time I see myself in a mirror I laugh/smile at how ridiculous I look, which helps me lighten up and not take myself/my situation too seriously. I'm going to test drive this at a social gathering tomorrow. Will report if it helped with feeling less lonely when around others. Too many voices to be alone. A busy person isn't lonely. Web novels and games combat. I just come to accept it. It's here to stay for a long while. I just write with it surrounding me, like the sad hermit I am. Reddit, and sometimes I call my grandma. Not living alone helps too, though I'm somewhat of a loner so I don't get easily sad, or feel true loneliness. Dude, it's like you've got some weird magic mirror into my life. The side character part especially. Never heard it verbalized like that, and it hit hard. This might sound super stupid, but if you're really in a position where making friends or seeing friends isn't possible, I've found that conversational comedic type podcasts make me feel like I'm hanging out with my friends. Like obviously this would an unhealthy substitute for all real human contact, but it's such a good mood boost for me. I was an only child most of my childhood. I definitely made friends and such, but those younger years in the apartment, lots of self-talk. Careful it doesn't become too much of a habit around other people. I've started doing it again occasionally, but just hearing your own voice really helps air out the old brain. These days will pass. Serrated steel. Talk to people. Feverish masturbation. Omegle is an acceptable way to find people to talk to. WWE games, and some Pepsi pets, volunteer work, and books. The best way to stop loneliness is to enjoy your own company. Develop interests that make you feel like you're interesting. Find hobbies, which allow you to create things you like. You'll stop needing people, and start enjoying a life that you can invite people into, instead of feeling bad that nobody is in it. I never feel lonely, I cherish the time I get alone. I grew up in a small village in a remote rural area with no other kids, so I got used to making my own fun. I'm the same now though, I always have projects on the boil. I just try to keep busy, and not think about it. Podcasts, walking, even in the dead of Midwest winter. Guitar, watching let's plays of games I can't afford, reading, learning a skill, woodworking, staff fighting, soldering. I just went through a rough breakup, and lonely feels have been abounding lately. Pets. Sometimes, they are better than human companion. I came back from a deployment to Iraq last year, and bought a house. 2 months in I was honestly starting to feel depressed, because it was just me in there so I got a dog, which helped out a lot, but was still feeling depressed. After talking it over with a friend I realized I needed to be with people, so every few weeks I hang out with some friends at their place, or they come over. I wait. I know that it's just a test of patience. Someone will come along someday. Till then, there is no option but to keep walking. Writing in my diary, although the last one I wrote in got lost. But writing helps me feel less lonely. John Mulaney. I combat it by going out of my way to do something for someone else. It gets me out of my own head for a minute, and makes me appreciate the people around me. Skip the drive-thru, and walk into the coffee shop. Find one thing about the barista at school, tattoo, artwork, clothing, whatever, and ask them about it. Tell them you think their shit is neat, and wish them a good day. Just climb out of your own feelings for a minute or two, and it will make all the difference. You might just brighten up their day, and in turn, they can pass that on to someone else. Hobbies. Getting a girlfriend. But one has to be careful with hobbies, and other substitute, because it can become a person's life. Ultimately though, finding purpose in life, which then generates a stream of people that gravitate towards you, is the solution. Loneliness is entirely self-inflicted, and there is, for men at least, the huge temptation to just watch anime, TV series / Netflix, play video games, watch porn, you name it, and just sink into that, and never meet society. Now with VR you don't need to. It's a dangerous trap. Single-minded purpose is what creates group cooperation. After all, we're just the same tribal monkeys from over 200,000 years ago. Why did Homo sapiens form tribes? With the goal to survive. A fitness group meeting in a park is exactly the same thing, just at a different scale. And so is nearly every other thing in society, such as a meetup for gamers. You have to find your tribe.